Hello everyone, welcome to another session on the networking. So today we'll be covering about static routing. So let's start. Uh, so what is static routing? So static routing is the implementation of route entries which is done manually in the routers or switch or anything. So no, normally in the routers, yeah, because in switch we don't normally use IP addresses, but in routers we use static routing. So it is basically the implementation of routes that is we manually input route so that the router would know where to forward packets. So static routing does not require communication with other routers, but since the routes are not communicating, there is no network intelligence. Thus, if a link goes down, other routers will not be aware that the network path is no longer valid. So if we are configuring a static route, there is a possibility that there's not about possibility, but there is certain things that if I configure static routes between two routers, there is no constant communication between them, and if the router goes down or if the link goes down, the other router to which it is to which it is connected will not be aware that this network path is no longer valid. So that's basically a disadvantage. Now, there's three types of static routes, and they are directly attached static routes, recursive static route, and fully specified static route. Well, since we are doing it in CCNA, so I'll be doing only static route, basically how it works. I will give a brief description about what the directly attached static routes means. So directly attached static routes means is to configure the static route, but there is instead of putting the next hop IP, we put in the next hop interface ID. Whereas in recursive static route, we put in the next hop IP address. And in fully specified static route, we put in both. So it's the next hop interface ID, and also the next hop IP address as well. So let me give you an example of static routing, which is the static routing is configured with a command. So like I said earlier, just before that, it's IP route network, subnet mask, and the next hop IP. So it's in recursive static routing, we would put the next hop IP, and in directly attached routes, directly attached static route, we will put in the next hop interface ID. Whereas in the fully fully specified static routing will be adding both. So here's a simple configuration of R1 of router R1. We went into the configuration terminal, and then under the configuration terminal we have set up this command, which is the IP route 2022 blah blah blah, and R2 with the same with different uh, IP route. So I'll be giving you a demonstration about how it works. So let me bring it in Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'll be giving out two routers. So let's take as example router 1 and router 2. Yes. So whenever we are connecting between routers, we use a crossover cable. We'll be connecting it to gigabit Ethernet 0/0 to gigabit Ethernet 0/0, or from R1 to R2. So both are connected to the gigabit slash 0/0. So let's do some configuration here. So would you like to enter initial configuration dialog? I would say no. So let's enter the privilege mode. Let's do a show IP interface brief to see that yes, the interfaces are down. So we know that we have connected gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So what we'll do here, we'll go into the configuration mode. config terminal, and then change the hostname to R1. Yes, so this is done. Next, we need to go into the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. So we'll do interface. Short term for gigabit, I put GI gigabit 0/0, enter, and I will add the IP address. Then .11.11.1. No, it's 10.12.1.1. Then the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. So I've configured it with an IP address. I will also configure the gigabit/0/0/1. So I would do interface gigabit 0/1 as well, just to add in another network IP address, and .11.11.1 255.255.255.0. So in both cases, I forgot to do in a shut. It's important, yeah. So I'll go to the interface, give us a 0, do in a shut there also. So both status are up. Control C to come out from the configuration mode and do a write memory to save the configuration. So that's it from the configuration mode of the for the configuration point of view for the interfaces. I haven't inputted the the static IP route yet, but I will do it in a moment. But let's first configure the interfaces. It's important to do that. So let's configure the hostname R2. Then do show IP interface brief. Normally, if we are in the privilege mode, we do show IP interface brief, but if we are in configuration mode or in any other mode, we can do a do show IP interface brief to in order to see the results. Yeah. So let's go into the interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. That's the IP address of 10.12.1.2 plus 255.255.255.0. Let's do a new shot here. Yeah, interface gigabit 0/1. Let's add another network there, 10.22.22. The IP address 10.22.22.2 255.255.255.0. Let's do a new shot as well here. Okay. So if we do a show IP interface brief here, you could see that the gigabit Ethernet 0/0 is up, the status is up, and the protocol as well. Compared to gigabit Ethernet 0/1, because its status is up because we have done a no shot into the interface, but the protocol is down because there's nothing connected there. So what we'll do, let's do a configuration for. Also, let's open up here. Let's do configuration for R1. So in order to reach the IP route of 10 22.22.0 network with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 we'll have to go through the 10.12 dot sorry, it's not dot commas 10.12.1.2. So that's the IP route that I've configured there. So I'll do the same. So what I've done here, so the let's see, let's put some routers here. Let's put some router here, router here. So it must be connected to yes, good. Okay. So let's just like this. So in order for me to reach the 10.22.22.0 network is here. So it comes from gigabit Ethernet 0/1 from router 2 to here. So that's 10.22.22.0 network. So in router 1, that's what I configured. In order to reach this network, I have with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0, I have to go through the IP address, which is 10.12.1.2. So that's what I have configured here. So I configured it in router 1. In order to reach the 10.22 network, I have to go through this IP, which is 10.12.1.2. Now I have to configure the same for router 2, but in reverse. In reverse. So how will I do that? I'll go configuration. I will go into configuration mode and do an IP route. In order for me to reach 10.11.11.0 network, which is in the router or one network, I have to with the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. I have to go through the IP address of 10.12.1.1. So that's what I've said. I've said that for me to reach the 10.11. I hope I configured it. Yes. So as you can see that the gigabit Ethernet 0/1 is configured with a 10.11.11.0 network here, which comes here. So I have to go through the gigabit Ethernet 0/0, which is the IP 10.12.1.1. That's what I configured here. So let's do a test to see if it's working correctly. I will ping the 10. So if you have a show IP interface brief, so yes, we have it there. So it's directly connected to 10.12.1 network and the 10.22.22 network. But it's not configured with the 10.11.11 network. So what I will do, I will ping the 10.11.11.1 network to see if it's currently working. So right now it's saying it's unreachable. Okay, we'll troubleshoot this one. So that's interesting. So there is something which is not working here. Mostly because this interface is not up. So let's do a configuration here in order to set up this interface and make sure that it's working. So it's router 4, configuration mode, hostname, 4. interface brief, do show IP, do show. Yes, it's correct. 0/0 interface 0/0 IP address. Yeah, I think I've done in the shoot maybe, but we get to that. But I really think because the protocol is down, that's why I'm getting this issue. But normally it should be working. Let's configure it. I will know better. 2 2 5 let's do a shot here. Yes. So right now, so as you can see that it's coming green. I'll configure this one as well. Three gigabit 0 IP at 3 no shit. Let's save the configuration here and yeah, so everything is going up. Now let's do a ping test. You see, so now that we have make sure that the protocol on the both sides is up. So now when I'm trying to ping the 210.22.22.2 network, now I'm able to do it. It's 100%, and we can do it on the other side as well. So previously it was not working because it was displaying unreachable because of what? Because it's actually the protocol was down on the other side, so that's why. So once you have made it to come up again, now if I do again a ping test, you'll see that it's working fine. So basically that's how the static routing works. Is what I'm doing is I'm manually configuring the routes so that they can reach the network which is not directly connected to it. So I hope you have understand what I have done. It's good that I have come up with that it gives me some troubleshooting to do in order so that we can dive into it and find out where is the problem and try to rectify it. So that's all for me now. That's all for me now, guys. So I hope you liked it and make sure you tune in for the next videos that will come. So for the time being, bye bye and have a good day ahead.